Hi, I'm Gabriel Lewis, and thank you for tuning in to our special edition of I'm Fat and I'm Not Ashamed. Yeah, I said it, F-A-T. I've been taking care of people all my life, and I decided since I'm 63 years old, I'm getting ready to focus on me. I'm going to affirm me, and I'm going to transform me. Yes, I am. Listen, do me a favor. If this is your first time tuning in, hit that subscribe button, push like, share it with your friends, and let them know that it's a big dude on YouTube and he's talking some good health stuff. Today, as I said, is a special edition. I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to naturally cleanse your body. You've heard me, if you looked at some of the previous videos, you heard me talking about how nearly 3-4 months ago now that I almost died. And I never really got into part of the reasons why. And that's what this video is all about today. It's all about cleansing the whole body. I literally 4 months ago or so had come to find out that I had toxic overload, and that was the thing that was really taking me out. I had so many toxins in my body, so much infection, and so many parasites was taking over. And I heard that, parasites give birth to other parasites inside of your body. And you can imagine the type of havoc that does on it. But I've got a special lecture today that I want to share with you. And on our company's webinar, we had him, about a year ago, I said. He talked about 3 of our most powerful products for cleansing. We have what we call a 10-day body renewal system, which cleanses your body in 10 days. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to step aside for a few moments, let him speak to you, and I want you to focus on him. It's about 20 minutes or so long, and I really want you to tune in and listen, and you're going to find the importance of what it is to cleanse your body. Remember, stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Spring Cleaning Product Training webinar this evening. I'm Steve Massimillo, Vice President of Distributor Relations, and we're excited that you're with us for what we believe will be a truly moving experience. Just like you do your spring cleaning of your home every year, it's also important to cleanse and detoxify your body to jumpstart your health, wellness, and weight loss success with our amazing cleansing and detoxification products. And to tell you how to spring clean your body and your colon, we are privileged to have a very special guest with us tonight, Dr. Philip Smith from our FFN Scientific and Medical Advisory Board. And tonight, Dr. Smith is going to share some very important nutritional information to help you cleanse and detoxify your body to improve your health and your wellness. He's also going to teach you some life-changing product training on the health benefits of our powerful 10-day body renewal cleansing program. Dr. Smith received his Doctor of Chiropractic degree from the Logan Chiropractic College in St. Louis, Missouri, and he's an international lecturer on health and wellness, a mentor, and a past adjunct professor. He has had a thriving practice for 40 years in Gonzales, Louisiana, where he focuses on brain-based wellness and helping patients to understand the importance of holistic health, including posture, alignment, nutrition, and stress management. So at this time, let's begin our spring cleaning. To get us started, please welcome Dr. Smith. Good evening, Dr. Smith, and welcome to the webinar.
Well, good evening. It's wonderful. I tell you what, I'm so excited to be here. And it's springtime in the South, and I know some folks up north are probably getting a little bit of snow, but way down here are still enjoying the warm weather. So I'm excited to be with you tonight, as I always am, and it's always an honor. So, I was just talking with my wife actually yesterday, and we were discussing about actually doing some spring cleaning at our home, and the conversation kind of took that turn. And I'm just going to ask the folks in the audience tonight, is it just me, or do you all find it amazing about how much junk and how much stuff that you can accumulate in just 1 year? And it typically ends up in your attic or in a closet or someplace, but it's there and it's taking up space, and it's mostly just useless. I know that's probably not just me, but here's the thing: your body is just like that. Over the course of time, even if you do a cleansing last year or 2 years ago, over the course of time, your body is going to do the same thing. It's going to accumulate trash via the things that we eat and just take into the body. So tonight, as we talk about spring cleaning, that's really the direction I want to go and talk about how you can really do an internal cleaning, cleansing the body, and making room for really good health. So I often tell my patients, as I've told many of you at the various programs that we've done in the past, death actually can and does begin in the colon. If you don't have proper elimination, just bad things are going to happen health-wise. When the colon is backed up, if it's not eliminating timely and effectively, the contents literally begin to rot and decay. And that creates just an environment that becomes a perfect breeding ground for all kinds of parasites, the ones that you can see, what we call macroscopic, the ones you can't see, the ones we call microscopic. But the point is that creates an environment that is going to cause your health to tank. On the other hand, a healthy colon really is, in fact, the secret to a long, strong, and healthy life. We know that the colon has been called the second brain. The reason for that is because it does have a direct influence over so many different body functions. And it really kind of knows when things are not well, and the body picks up on that as well. So if your intestinal tract is not properly cleansed, you're going to age faster. Well, how in the world can that happen? Really, the way that happens is through just a toxic response in the body. And what we're going to talk about a little bit more in a little bit in terms of chronic inflammatory response. Chronic inflammation in the body is a fast track to early aging, and it can be reversed if you know what to do, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But even in small amounts, toxins in the colon just create that aging process, and overall this will cause a destruction that is incredible in the body. So here are some of the effects of an unhealthy colon. Now, in this picture, what we're looking at is the large colon, but understand that there's what's called the small intestine as well. And that's really where the vast majority of your digestive process takes place, is actually in the small intestine. But what occurs in an unhealthy colon is that the material that you eat, the things that you put into your body, aren't moved through the body on a timely basis. And so you get this over-accumulation of waste material. And just like any toxic waste dump, that material over time becomes more and more toxic to the body. So not only does it create an inflammatory response, but also what it does is your body cannot absorb the nutrients. As this material begins to dehydrate and pack against the colon wall, because in the large intestine, one of the primary functions of the large intestine is the reabsorption of water. So that material actually becomes dehydrated, and as it does, it packs against the colon wall and can adhere to it. Now we have a situation where the colon can actually become smaller as more and more material packs on the wall, like we see in this picture. And I see this, by the way, this is kind of a rabbit trail here, but I see this, by the way, all the time. We'll see the outline of a colon on a lumbar x-ray, which we take to assess a symptomatic patient, and we'll see this colon prolapsed or dropped like that. The only way that typically happens is that colon has gotten so heavy that the retaining tissues can't hold it in position, and it drops. So it's literally full of waste material. And as a result of that, also now it becomes smaller in diameter, and now you can't push as much material through, and now you're constipated. So it's important to understand, you'll talk to clients very oftentimes, and they'll say, well, I have a bowel movement. I have it, maybe one every day or 2 or 3 days. But, I'm still having bowel movements. I'm not constipated. That's not necessarily true. They can be constipated and still have an occasional bowel movement. I'll tell you a little quick story. I had an 8-week-old patient come in about 2 months ago, and this just was incredible. This poor child, since birth, she's breastfed, having 1 to 2 bowel movements a week. Breastfed baby. The pediatrician told the mother that's totally normal. When I heard that, I about fell out. I mean, it's like, certainly, somebody like that's got to have some clue is that that's not normal for a breastfed baby. That should be 2 to 3 bowel movements or 4 a day. So this child was extremely constipated. So along with that, then we get the indigestion. In this particular case, and even in an 8-week-old, it was the indigestion was showing up as colic and reflux. Of course, in an adult, we'll still see the same thing. It's colic, and we just call it abdominal pain. So you get the indigestion. The toxic buildup is what's causing the fatigue. As you reabsorb the toxic material through the colon wall directly into the bloodstream, now we see just a basic increase in toxic stuff in the blood, and that actually creates fatigue in the body. And it also can affect the brain because it can cross the blood-brain barrier and affect the tissues of the brain, and as a result, you get some brain fog or just a loss of ability to focus. So one of the things that we look at in our kids with ADD, ADHD, is we're looking at, what they're eating, and how well they're digesting. Are they getting their food through the body in time? So when we look at this, the average transit time in this country, and typically the Western diet is the cause of this, is 65 to 100 hours. Just do the math. That's a lot of days, that you're having between the time you eat until you move that material out of the body. And like we said, the colon is a second brain. So this little diagram here is a great diagram, a wonderful slide to kind of show the different things that the colon affects. Everything from the heart to the stomach, the pancreas, and the kidneys are affected by how the colon works. So when we see breakdown in other body systems, one of the things that we often do, particularly in my office, is we start asking questions related to digestion and how well their colon is working, even to the things of low blood pressure. What most people don't know, and this is kind of a doctor thing, but I'll share it with you, is that the colon is run by what is called the autonomic nerve system. That's the system of the body that you don't have to think about. It's just running things. The key part of that, and there's 2 parts. There's one called the sympathetic, which is the gas pedal part of the nerve system, and the other called the parasympathetic, which is the brake pedal. So when we see colon issues like this, you see that section that says low blood pressure. Well, what will happen very often times is you get a condition that we call a decrease in the autonomic system or sympathetic autotomia, and that causes a loss of blood pressure. So there's a lot of different things that the colon controls, and so that's why it's so important that it be healthy. So when we start looking at the benefits of a healthy colon, what we see is, the obvious things like decreased gas and bloating. Why? Well, you don't have that excess buildup of waste material literally rotting, and when things rot, it puts off gas, and it's a toxic gas. Glowing complexion, how does that work? Like we said earlier, when the colon is toxic, it gets into the bloodstream, and we're going to see in a minute how that bloodstream, if it becomes toxic, is affecting the skin, because a lot of the toxic material is eliminated not only through the colon but also through the skin. increased mental alertness. So the brain is going to work faster and better and be more alert when it's not being overburdened with toxic material in the bloodstream, and it's not working hard to help the body just get by day to day. It's got extra energy. So allergies are a result of enzymatic changes in the body that's caused by a toxic colon. So we homocysteine and histamines increase when we don't get good digestion. Plus the elimination of parasites that we talked about earlier. You get these bugs out of the colon. You get you can literally have worms in the colon, but most people don't realize that there's other microscopic parasites in the colon that can cause just as much damage and just as much health problems as there are the big things like roundworms and tapeworms and things like that. So we see the symptoms of depression and hypertension and arthritis. Those are all very commonly related, and research shows this, to a chronic inflammatory response in the body. So when we talk about cleansing, it's not, sticking your feet in electrified water for 30 minutes, although that does help a little bit. It's not spending 3 days at a spa, although we'd all love to do that. What cleansing really is cleaning the body from inside out, and that really happens via the food and the water you drink. So a lot of cleansing programs that you hear about are very short term. What I want you to focus on is the long term. This is a marathon, not a 100-yard dash. You want to look at the long term. So your goal for long-term cleansing needs to be the food you eat. Hippocrates said that your food should be your medicine, and your medicine should be the food you eat. So most of the foods, if you know what to look for, are very effective in cleaning the colon and the kidney and the liver and the lymphatic system. And those 4 things are critical to have to be cleansed and detoxed on a regular basis to improve your longevity, reduce your aging rate, and just overall increase your ability to be really incredibly healthy. I've always said that if those 4 systems are really healthy and working properly, it's a hard day for somebody to get sick. It just doesn't happen that easily. So toxins literally are everywhere in our environment, and that's essential to understand. The food we eat and the water we drink. Let's stop there just a moment. The water you drink, all water is not created equal. Water can be acid and it can be alkaline. You want alkaline. We've talked over and over in First Fitness about how important it is to have an alkaline side in the body. So water needs to be alkaline, and you can go to a wonderful little YouTube program and just type in water pH. There's a great little video on there. It goes through about 8 or 10, 15 bottles of bottled water, and it shows which ones are alkaline and which ones are acid and the ones you shouldn't drink. So be sure and watch that. Medications we take. Everybody knows that medications acidify the body. It leaves a residue that's typically built up in the liver, which we'll talk about in a second, and, of course, the air we breathe. So when we look at the colon, and as we go into how to detoxify the colon, just remember that the average person can be carrying around a significant matter of excess fecal matter in the colon, and that can create, a bloated belly. It can create a lot of things, like anywhere from ulcerative colitis to diverticulitis to all kinds of disease processes. And this picture, I see a lot of people oftentimes chuckle at this, and when I do this in my office, but the sad fact of the matter is this now is becoming the average American. They're consuming 23 pounds of toxins just in the food they eat, and as a result, they're starting to look a lot like this picture. We've talked a lot about obesity and how destructive that is. So, understand that the average person is eating about 29 pounds of fast food French fries. You know, they're gulping down over 40 gallons of carbonated beverages, which steal calcium from the bones and cause bone demineralization. You know, the sugar that's in there just is totally destructive to the body and causes inflammation and a lot of other health issues. And then we look at snack foods. You know, the sad fact of the matter is this right alone, that is an average diet for a lot of people. You know, look at teenagers and even adults, you know, they spend their day eating this kind of junk and wondering why, you know, they're 50, 100 pounds overweight and sick. So tons of snack food. And this one here, ladies and gentlemen, I can't talk enough about this, but I'll keep it simple. Sugar is destroying the health of America. And I live in Sugarland down in South Louisiana. Everybody down here is basically sugarcane farmers, so I'm not a very popular person here. But 150 pounds of sugar per person is the average intake per year. You can do the math. That's just incredible. And then we start looking at the stuff that we now add to our food to make it look nice and last forever. And the 8 to 10 pounds of additives and preservatives that we put in our body, you know, understand that, you know, if that'll preserve food on a shelf, it's going to preserve you too. So this material that we add to our body just has tremendous amounts of toxic side effects that just, you know, I could spend an hour talking to you just about all those different things. So look at the things that you eat. Read the labels. The longer the ingredient label, the worse it is for you. And the easier the things are pronounced, you know, the better it is. So if you've got words there that are longer than your street address and you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't eat it. And trans fats are at the top of my 3 worst food list. Trans fats, sugar, and carbonated beverages are the 3 worst foods that you can really put in your body because they all cause such dramatic devastation inside. Trans fats raise the bad cholesterol, tank your good cholesterol, and again, inflammation, significant inflammation, which increases the risk of heart disease, arteriovascular disease, and cancer. Those are the things that are the big killers, by the way. So how do you know if you need a detox? Well, if any of these things fit you, there you go. We've talked about fatigue and lack of energy. We've talked about skin problems. But headaches are a typical indication that you're toxic. Bad breath. Your body's trying to eliminate the toxins through the lungs. Body odor through the skin. So again and again, all these things are obviously good signals, just like on your car dashboard, that something's not okay. You need to pay attention to it, and you need to detox. So let's take a roll through First Fitness's incredible line of products that I use every day in my practice for my patients, and I also use them myself. So the Renew is their inner body cleanse and a colon cleanser and toner. The Renew really is an incredible product that really helps promote the health of the colon. Let me go back one here. And really increase the ability of the body to knock down the parasites in the colon. So when you've got a healthy colon, you're going to absorb what you eat. That gets the minerals and the vitamins in. When you're getting the minerals and vitamins in, you don't have the chronic starving sensation, which makes you want to eat everything because your body's being well fed. One thing that most people never think about is fungus. You know, the fungus loves dark, moist places, and what better place than the colon for that to grow? So a great ingredient in Renew is the antifungal agent, which is there, and that's something that most people never even think about. So a stagnant colon, no elimination times that are like they should be. We've got prolonged elimination times. So how do I help that? I want to take the Renew because it scrubs the walls, it tones the colon walls, it helps slough off the excess fecal material off the colon wall, and it gets it out of the body where it doesn't belong. LIPOMAX is the liver cleanser. It's the best thing for optimum liver health. So we know that the liver filters blood, it stores vitamins, it metabolizes the proteins, the fats, and the carbs. And ladies, so important for you, one of the primary functions of the liver is to break down and eliminate excess estrogen. And we've talked about this in various seminars and things, that it's the estrogen dominance that causes so many female issues that women spend days and days at their gynecologist trying to get help with. And lots of times it's just a liver congestion because the liver gets congested, can't process the estrogen, and you're off to the races. So LIPOMAX is my go-to product for those kind of conditions as well. I want to get any of my ladies on this that are having female problems and get that started. So Fit to a T is often a underutilized product, I think, in First Fitness, and it does support bowel regularity. But what did we say? We said liver, colon, lymphatics, and kidneys. So the Fit to the T is your colon, or not, I mean your colon, but your lymphatic and your kidney cleanser. And the lymphatic system of the body is the system that washes and cleanses all the debris away from the cells. As the cells go through their day-to-day process, they break down, they die, that has to be eliminated from the body, and it's the lymphatics that does that. Also eliminates bacterial residues that are there from infections, all these various things. Those channels out are through the skin. That's why people who have a congested liver or a congested lymphatic system often have a lot of skin disorders, seborrhea, psoriasis, dermatitis, all these different types of things. The kidneys are the main organ that cleanses the blood. Liver does that a little bit, but it's really the kidneys that really bear the brunt of that. And so the ingredients of Fit to a T, the red clover, is a very potent blood purifier. And it cleanses and purifies the blood. The uva urthri is a very potent diuretic. And when we have people that have water retention, which, by the way, diet sodas are notorious for causing water retention, so we have a good natural diuretic in Fit to a T. The kidney cells need to be cleansed and purged, and peppermint leaf, which is also an ingredient, is very effective in cleaning and purging those kidney cells. When we look at this thing from the big picture, we want to look at the whole system. Many of your clients will say, well, I just want to do this one, or I just want to do that one. If they're toxic, they need to cleanse the entire system. And then eventually, you know, they may want to just really focus on one, but I would suggest that everyone do a full body cleanse, do the 10-day system, and cleanse with all three products at least 2 or 3 times a year. And then if they want to focus on just one or two, if they've got a health issue, they can do that. So when we look at this, the 4 key things, liver, lymphatics, colon, and kidney, the key items, Renew, LIPOMAX, and Fit to a T. So when people say, well, what should I do? This is what you tell them. They need to cut back on the processed food. They need to get pure water. And like I said earlier, all water is not created equal. They can do some simple things like bouncing on a trampoline or Swiss ball to stimulate those lymphatics. A liver gallbladder flush is a good thing to do. It's a very intense program to go through, so if they're going to do that, they need to be under the supervision of a healthcare professional. You know, reduce the amount of alcohol intake, keep the caffeine to a minimum, and remember the food you eat, include herbs in that. And then, of course, the herbs that are in these 3 magnificent products will meet the vast majority of us, our needs in terms of cleansing and keeping the body healthy and vibrant and well. So, I really appreciate my time with you. I hope this has been of a help.
Hi, I'm back. And I hope you enjoyed that most informative lecture. And I know after hearing that type of information, I know that you want to get our 10-day body renewal system. Let me tell you just a little bit about our company. Our company is 30 years old. We're not a fly-by-night. We've been around for a reason. So you don't have to worry about it being a quality product. We've been here a while. And you can get this system, this 10-day system. It normally retails at $79.95. That's shipping included, $79.95. But today, for my YouTube special, I'm going to offer it through my Cash App for only $64.95. That's right, $64.95. That's about a $15 discount. And you can get that. And there'll be a description, and it'll be the website and the Cash App below. But my Cash App is $Gabriel, that's capital Gabriel, Bernice, capital BERNICE. That's what it is. And again, you can send that $64.95 if you want to purchase that today. Also, if you feel more comfortable going online, buying it at retail, be my guest at www.gabriel.firstfitness.com. That's FIRSTFITNESS. All of the information that I'm giving you will be in the description box below. Once again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that you'll take advantage of getting this system to cleanse your body. Once again, I'm Gabriel Lewis, and I'm fat, and I'm not ashamed. Be sure now that you click subscribe, click like, and click share. And we'll see you next time on I'm Fat, and I'm Not Ashamed.